Hello, 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 replay viewers and the people joining us in here today. Welcome to Sir Accountant. Share it, share it. Sharing is caring. Alrighty. So, let's give people a few seconds because they're probably leaving the other scopes and coming in. And while we wait, I will just introduce myself because a lot of people already know me. My name is Kathy Grillo of Kathy Grillo Designs, and you can find me on all these lovely social medias. And I do mostly digital art and some pet portraits, illustrations, and designs. And today I am going to do a pet portrait. So let's see. I have. There we go. Hi, how are you? So I was just going to explain that today I'm going to work on a pet portrait. Welcome everybody. I'm Kathy Grillo from Kathy Grillo's Designs. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop in and ask. Tell me who you are, where you're from, and we'll all get to know each other and have a great time. I hope everybody's been enjoying the art block today. Today has been a crazy day for me. I was at a wedding last night out of town, got back today, and I've been working most of the day since I got home preparing for this art block. So I hope you all enjoy it. I'm going to work on a pet portrait today. I've been working through the akckennel Club, and I am going to do the Akita today. Hi! So, I've been working on this Akita. And I did the old, one of those old school kind of, you know, when you were in art school or art class, and they'd have you do like half a face and not, you know, not do the other half sort of thing. I just did it so I could, it's hard on the art block to do it in an hour, what you need to get done. So I wanted people to be able to see. So, hi, Graveyard. Jump in, tell me your name, where you're from. Love to get to know you. I don't recognize your handle. So, this is the Akita. And if anybody has ever done digital art before, if you haven't, feel free to ask. But if you have, you'll be familiar with layers. So, you'll see my canvas layer is totally blank, as I do not like putting anything on my canvas layer because this is the one layer, watch, I cannot get rid of. So then my next layer, I have my sketch. And this is, let me just turn it up for you because I have it really turned down so I can make it darker. This is my sketch. And it's really just kind of like an outline, the details for where the face placements are, and sort of like a flow map of the general direction of the fur. And I draw right on top of the sketch when I do a portrait. And eventually this sketch level will be deleted and it will not be there anymore. So then I like to do my eyes on a separate level. And it just kind of makes them, helps them be set into the face. So let's start on layer 2. And I'm going to zoom in right in here. Hi Debs, how are you? I'm going to zoom right in here. Oh, hi Paige, okay. I recognize the name Paige. Thanks for stopping by, appreciate it so much. So, I'm going to do this eye, and that's where we'll start. So I will show you how I do this. Now, I've also been experimenting with a different technique here today. I've been using let me slide you over here. I've been using my Real Wet oil and a wet grainy brush, and I've been using it very small. I'll show you how small. Very, very small. Can you see that little circle? That is my brush size. Thank you for inviting people. So it's very small, and it's giving me this fur texture that I've been using over here. But for the eye, I want it smooth and kind of glassy looking. So I am going to do a liquid oils brush, okay, which I also have set pretty small. Let me get this eye centered for you. Now, I already did this eye. I do have a reference picture that I'm loosely using. So here's the Akita's face, and you can see you really can't see his eyes, but I like being able to see the eye and have them look at you, especially when I'm doing a portrait. So that's my artistic license to pick and choose. So since I have this eye, but I want this eye to match this eye, I'm going to steal all my colors from over here. So I'm going to get this nice dark color for the pupil. And I always start from this inside and go out. It helps build the layers up for me to do the edge of the eye, the outline of the eye, on top of the actual eyeball. So this is a oil paint setting, and it will spread. You'll see how I pick up my brush and it kind of spreads into the paper. So I have to be a little careful and conscious of that, and not go too hog wild crazy with it. I'm pressing very lightly. The harder I press, when I do digital art, I'm using Corel Painter 2016. And so the harder I press, the more paint I get, the bigger it'll spread. As like this, I'll show you. So I'm pressing really hard. When I pick up the brush, it starts soaking into the paper and it spreads. Best thing about digital art, I can undo it. And it goes away and doesn't wreck up my whole painting. So if I go really light, I can use a minimal amount of paint. It is paint. I mean, comparable to it? Yeah, probably. I have not used Illustrator. I know like Photoshop is more for photo. This is a very arty program. They did a very good job of making the mediums act like they do in real life. So they will blend with the paint underneath, and they're soaking into the paper. So it's a very interesting program, and I like it. I've only been doing digital art since January, so I haven't had a whole lot of experience with a lot of different stuff. I am using an Intuos Pro tablet, and it comes with this pressure-sensitive pen. I have an Intuos Pro medium-sized tablet that I'm drawing on. Thanks for asking. Sometimes you forget because you answer the same questions, but then you have people who weren't here before. And so sometimes I forget to tell all the info, so I appreciate it much. If you look at an eyeball, especially in animal eyes, they usually have a dark ring right on the edge of the iris. So I kind of like to get that in there because I'm going to blend. And I'm not using, which is weird for me, I'm not using any blender today. Oh no, this is a computer screen, and my tablet is separate on my table here. Yeah, I can't afford the Cintiqs. The Cintiq is what you draw right on the screen. Yeah, if I start selling more art, that would probably be one of the things I would save up to get. Okay, yeah. If I sell more art, that's one of the things I would look into getting, because I think they're super cool. I know, they're so expensive. And this wasn't too cheap either. Corel Painter is a pricey program too. But my husband got it for me for Christmas. He's a good guy. Alright, so I'm just kind of laying in some colors for the iris right now. And this is still shaping. And everything you can draw is a shape. So you go from shapes to forms to, oh yeah, I really am a lucky wife. He tries to spoil me. He likes me. He really likes me. We just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary last October, so we are very lucky. Alright, so I'm just kind of putting in some color here, and I like always using a light color, even if it's a darker brown, because when light hits an iris, you can almost sort of see through it. Yeah, thanks. Aww, he's a good guy. So yeah, I have my house is crowded with all my kids, and I don't have a lot of space for like my own studio. And so the one day I think I was on Periscope, and I saw some digital art, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then for Christmas, guess what showed up? I was like, oh, thank you. I think I actually cried, Paige. I think I did. I haven't cried at Christmas since I was like 14. I think I actually cried. Alright. So now I'm just trying to get some more control. I don't want the blender. I want the oil. I'm looking at my brushes. I don't want turpentine. Nope. What's this one gonna do? Let me see what this one does. I'm still learning all the different brush types. Is that one gonna, I'm looking for something that's not gonna bleed a whole lot because I want to get the details in. Alright, so that's good. Erase. Alright, let's make it. Not only do I have every medium and bunch of different, thanks for the hearts guys, I have every brush size, so I can dial it down and go really small. And that's how I can get some of these details. And it's ridiculous, like I would never be able to paint these details for real like this small, because I'll show you in a minute the true size here. So you see I'm building up the glossiness, I'll get some depth here. And the iris has like the little muscles that contract coming from. And you always have a shadow underneath the lid. Akitas have these really nice black lined eyes. It's like they have a jet black eyeliner on. And I'm using like this very light touch, so it's not the easiest thing. Alright, now I want to bring this out, down and around, and it's going to start encasing my eyeball a little bit. And I can judge this a little more and get some shading. I want a touch of white, like I'm stealing the white from the paper. I want a touch of white, like on this part of the iris, and it'll blend in with my colors. So just like how real oils are pretty transparent, these do the same thing. And I want to reflect a little bit of my orangey color in the eye too. Because the eyes really do reflect a lot. You'd be surprised. Alright. So, it's easy to do one eye. It's harder to do another eye. It always takes me longer to do the second eye because I'm trying to match it. Not just like freestyling it. You see those artists and they do like those eye paintings and they're only doing one eye. That's why. They're only doing one eye because then they don't have to worry about them matching. So, I can't wait to go back and look at the art block replays today because I just got home from out of town and I'm excited to see what everybody's been up to today. Alright, so I don't want there's going to be a background and I have to color all the paper so the background doesn't show through. So we're going to put a little bit of shading here. And make it a little whiter on top. So like on oils, you just build layers and they blend in together. You'll see, even after I'm done painting this right here, they'll start slowly blending in. And then I want a nice little pink, sort of pink color for right in the corner. That's too dark. Too dark. A little more pink. Alright. And a dot. When you're trying to make something look wet, your highlights are very important. Alright. So, and the eyes are one of the most important parts of any kind of portrait painting because they really are like where all the personality and like the soul of your subject lie inside the eyes. So that's why I always start with them, because if I don't get the eye right, it's not worth like continuing at that moment. I have to work at it till you get the eyes right, because a lot of other things could be played around with and maybe not perfect, but the eyes are your center of attention. It's one of the things that are noticed first. Yes, eyes, then the nose, then the mouth, and then if you get those three right, you're totally right. You get those done, and the rest of your painting should be smooth sailing. So I always make sure I get those done first too. Alright, so I'm going to show you, that's right, I'm going to show you the size of this. So this is how ridiculous my details are. This is the regular size of what I'm working on. Okay, so all that detail that I worked on, you really won't see it, but subconsciously I think people do see it. If it's not right, it'll register somewhere on people's heads. Yeah, like their brains will look at it and go, huh, why am I not thinking that's right? Well, because it's not. When it comes to your eyes, your nose, and your mouth, they have to be on. Alright, so if I close this layer, you'll see that those go away. And so now I'm going to go to this layer, which is all the fur that goes on top. So that'll help define this eye and help set it into the face. And even when I'm done with all this, like I'll probably go back and mess around with it because I get picky. I will admit it. Alright, so I've been using this wet bristle brush. Look how small my brush is. Now remember how small my painting was. This is the brush I've been using. And this is a new technique for me. I just started playing around with it when I came home today. So, for right now I want to make it a little bigger. Thank you. For right now I want to make it a little bigger. You can see the circle. See the circle looking on the eye. That's the size of my brush. And I dial it up and I can make it bigger. And this is a bristle brush. Let me see if I can show you. So if I go like this, you could see a little bit how it has bristle marks. Let me see if I can get it. It has bristle marks in it on this brush setting. And what those will do is they'll help give me the hair effect a little easier and help build up the layers. So if I show you the part I've been working on up close, you can see the the ugly lines, like they're all just layered colors of individual little lines. But then when you go back, it's sort of impressionistic. When you step back, they all flow together to help give the form of the dog's face. So, whoa, there he is. This is a different technique. I've been playing around with different techniques and saying, well, what does this setting do? What does this setting do? So today I said I'm going to play around with these oil bristle brushes, and I'm not even using a blender. Usually I use a blender to blend, and today I'm just letting the paint blend on its own. So the paint's doing my blending work for me today. Alright, so now I'm going to start building the shape around the eye. I usually do an eye around the eye, and I start working out in circles. And all I do is take the, take a color and look over here on my color wheel. Let me bring that in here. I have a palette, I have a mixer, and I have a color wheel. And I could kind of like play around with what color I want to use. And then I just start doing lines in the direction that they are moving. And that's why I have all these little lines on my drawing. It's kind of like a flow map telling me, one, like these define my shapes of like the white to the colors. And also these little lines are telling me the direction the fur is flowing in that part of the face or body. And if you're an artist, we know white is never white. There's always colors underneath white or black. So I am just going to be building it up. And being that it's fur, you're going to have different colors blending together to make that one marked spot. So I'm loosely adding in some colors, and as I go I will get more in here. Right now I'm forming the eye socket and the eyelid. So it will have a little bit of a crease that I'll blend in. So I'm just starting to build where the fur goes. Alright, and then it has this little light makes things recede, and brightness makes them come forward. And that's a good lesson of sort of being able to start getting your forms in. So that's why there's this little dark corner here by the corner of the eye, because I want it to recede from the bridge of the nose. So even if you're doing a portrait and you have a picture and you don't necessarily have which part about the dark? Alright, so if you, okay, so everything you make is shapes. I always start with basic shape. Then you go to form, which is means starting to make it look three-dimensional, and then the last thing is the details that you're going to add, which you can use as many as you want, or as little, depending on what you're doing. So you have to turn something flat and trick the eye into seeing it as a three-dimensional picture or item. So this is flat, and if I just have white, it's going to stay the same level. The darkness in the corner of the eye will trick your eye into thinking it recedes, and when I do this lightness on the bridge of the muzzle here, it will lift this part of the nose up. So then that's how you get the shape of your eyes, bridge of the nose, and the other eye. And this eye is easier to recede because I put it under a layer, and it has some hair that's sort of like flowing over it from here, which helps it set it in there. But this eye is all open, so it's going to be done with more or less a shadow. So you know that it sits back in the face. But I don't want it to be like a big black spot, so I'm just like slowly building it up. And I know my art, my art goes slow sometimes. I like the details. I was talking to one of the other members about it the other day. I can't help it. I have a hard time like just loosely flowing stuff down. And that's why we are all different with our different styles. We all have different abilities, and I admire the people who can just throw everything down. Hello, how are you? Yeah, it's almost, just so everybody knows, here, I'll show you really quick. This is the rest of the schedule for the night. So, if you look at these people, Tangled Cat is next, and she's going to be doing some henna. And then we have I Need Henna, another different henna art. And then we have Tammy at AC Adventures. She'll probably be painting an oil abstract. And then we have another henna artist finishing us out from 11 to midnight. It was a really awesome art block today. Yes, follow them and let's give them love and support. Some of them, it's their very first art block, and we want them to be excited to come back and try it again. So let's show them some love and support and make it a place people want to be. It's a privilege to be in the art block, representing our little group. Okay, there you go, Zentangle. Awesome, awesome. Okay, those are neat, those Zentangles. Thanks for inviting people. So now, I really am just kind of throwing this stuff down here. And I'm not really being too careful with it because it's all going to be layered up. And this is just to get my basis of my color. So I'm starting to block out where the color goes and where the lighter, the reddish color from the white. And so I'm just kind of throwing down a bunch of lines in the way that the fur would go. And we're going to slowly be building it up. This is my fur. And this is kind of how I do a pencil drawing with thousands of little lines and not so much a big brush stroke. And so that's the different technique I'm using today. Instead of just blocking out colors with like big spots of paint, I am really doing like every single line is a miniature brush stroke from my pen. And that's how I used to do my graphite pencil drawings. So I'm pretty familiar with them. So now I'm adding on like a whitish color. And I'll just layer it up. It's kind of hard to see. I've been trying to stay away from the white because I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see the white. But I kind of have to throw some in here, so. Make these little like eyebrow sections that this dog has. Thank you. Yeah. Now I do different styles. Like the last dog I didn't do it this way. Let me see if I can find her really quick. Desktop. Finished. Where is it? There it is. So this one is also an oil painting, but it is done a little differently. Not as, not super liney, more brush strokey. I make up my own words. If you come around, you'll hear that enough. But, thanks. So this one I just finished last week. And so this one will be played around with and worked with, but I decided to do it like I did my pencil drawings because I haven't done them for a little while. So I said, hey, you got to do something for the art block today. What are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Nice conversation with myself, you know. You've been out of town all week for like the last 3 days, and you don't have anything ready to do for the art block. That was me today. Don't have anything to do. So I said, let's look, find some picture. We'll find something. Let's try this dog. So that's where I'm at. So I'm developing a shadow here once again. And you see I'm bringing it from the corner of the eye down the side here to sort of start building up that this is the side of the muzzle and this is the top. So this will have a little bit of a shade to it. And I'm going to start building up the front part of the muzzle that kind of comes around. I'm just blocking in. I'm just blocking in the colors. You can see how it's starting to form this ball part that's the front of the mouth. Just very loosely layering them up. And the cool thing about the oil paints is they blend, they keep blending, that's one, but you can just see all the layers. The colors will just start all working together eventually. And then after a while you go back and then that's when you'll do like your super white. And it makes it all come like whoop, white. Let's see if I can get a real white. So then like if I come back in here and start putting white on the tips of the hair, it'll start making this part of the nose look like it's on the top. And then this will start deepening as I go. I just don't want to do too drastic because I want the shading to build up and be subtle. So let's see. The other trick I wanted to show you guys was the nose. So the dog's nose has a particular shape, but if you ever look really close at a dog's nose, it's like almost, it has a texture to it. Like little nubby circles on their nose. And if you can simulate some of that texture, it helps make it look more like the skin of a nose. Makes sense, right? So how I do that is I literally make little circles. And then just like any kind of shading, like crosshatch shading, or, you know, the more lines you put in one spot, the darker, and the less lines, the lighter. So I just do a bunch of little circles. And the round part of the nose is going to have, obviously, more of a highlight. The side part of the nose will be darker. The nostril is the darkest. So you want to make sure you get a really dark little spot in there. And then dogs also have like the side that cuts in like that. And then it'll be dark again once it's coming out here, but there's always like this little ridge of light right around the outside of the nostril. And you kind of want to make, what this does is gives you the dark spots of the nose, but it gives you little highlights that help make it look wet, like a dog's nose. And of course, depending where your light source is coming from, this light source is kind of coming down, so it's not too drastic. And there's some various colors in the nose to get the black. And I just do a nice little line right around the edge, but I'm just making these circles. And then, okay, now say if I'm going to make a mistake, okay? Say if I Oh, darn. Look at that's too solid. I screwed up. I could erase it, but in real life, I just kind of, I'll come in and put these little highlights in to spark it up with my eraser. But I do that at the end. So, just blending in the nose. And then right in the middle of the nose, there's always a little divot. I draw a lot of dogs. Look at me. I know all the dogs' anatomy. It's so interesting. Well, it's even funnier is when I'm out and about and we see people's dogs, and I always know, like, I'm pretty good at guessing what breed it is, or breeds if it's a mutt. And people are like, oh, how'd you know? I go, don't ask. My husband's like, don't even ask. Don't even ask. She knows those dogs. Alright. Dogs just love me, and then I'll talk to the dog before I just, like, say hi to the person. I'll be like, hey pups, how are you? And the dogs will come over. Yeah, the dogs would come over and be like, I'm like having a conversation with somebody's dog. And my husband just starts rolling his eyes like, oh boy, here we go again. Like, I like your dog better than I like you, but, you know. Alright. Alright, so now some of this is going to get blended in, because when you look at a dog's nose, the hair actually blends in a lot over the top of the nose. So I'm going to kind of blend it in a little bit. And I have two Shih Tzus, so you can really see how their hair comes out from the nose like a flower. But if you look at all dogs, they generally all do. So the hair will come out around, and it just kind of all comes out around from the nose. So it's a good way to think about it. And so then this is going to curve up here to form the little spot that's going to then come around and form that ball part of the muzzle. And then up here is going to be, once again, darker because it's on the side. So the light's kind of coming this way. So that's why this side's a little darker than this side, but not a whole lot darker. Just a little. And then just like when you're really painting for real, every so often I like to take a step back. So you take a step back and see how it's going. You kind of see this, okay, I'm starting to get the shape in here. Alright. Alright, so now I got the little bit of shape in. I'm throwing in some color, going in the direction very loosely. I'm going to start defining my color from the light on my face. Hi! I Need Henna that just joined in. She's on at 9 o'clock. 9 to 10. You guys, everybody follow her. I Need Henna. She's on from 9 to 10. Alright. So I'm just kind of throwing some of this in, getting some of the color that goes under the white. You're welcome. I'm so excited. We have some new faces with the art block, and it excites me because we always can't be here every week. It's not going to be hard to follow me. It's not. We all do different stuff. I'm going to watch you and I'm going to be like, dang, I wish I could do that. I don't have the patience for it. I saw some of it and I know that's what I'm going to be. I'll be like, oh. My advice, if you don't scope a whole lot, is luckily I like to talk a lot. So my advice is I talk even when nobody's here. Talk about what you're doing, what you're thinking of doing, what went wrong, because you never know who's going to watch, and you have to kind of keep it interesting. So just explain everything. Curious minds want to know. I have never had henna done, never seen it done, so I'm really looking forward to tonight. Oh, there's another one. We're going to say G4 Penny, she's just in the house. She's closing it up for us today from 11 to 12. We actually are going from noon to midnight today. I think that's the first time we've done this today. The art block has gone like that. So, yeah, that would be great. So, whoa, my camera just fell. Sorry, guys. So, this is very exciting. 12 to 12 today. I'm hoping by next year we have 24-hour art blocks that go around the world, and people are putting in applications to be in it, and it's like winning the lottery if you get asked. That's my hope. I love when people get jazzed up about art. And I know it's not the most exciting scopes. I get it, you know. I hope so. That would be great. I mean, I get art. Like, look at this. This takes a long time. You're not going to be able to see the end product here. I mean, if you want to see the end product, you have to follow me on one of my social medias. And I work with social media. I think I'm on like 12 of them. And I follow my followers, and I love to get to know everybody. And you can always send me private messages, ask questions, whatever you want. I'll look at your stuff, help you out. I don't care. I'm there for you. So, I love seeing people get excited about art or want to learn art, or it makes me, happy. Always has. It's weird. Other art people, you're right. Other people who love art get it. But I mean, we have like 6 or 7 people. We don't have, like a couple hundred like some people do. I get that singing a song is more instant gratification. Okay, you can see I'm starting to build up these colors. This is the same way I did this other side. So I'm just loosely putting these in, and eventually I will have all the variety of the different shades of hair. And I guess I think I decided to do it this way because of this like reddish blonde, this reddish blondie kind of hair this dog has, that hair color has probably 6 or 7 colors in it. To really get the richness of it, you need to have all the colors. Otherwise it just looks flat. So I said, I'm just going to do it like I do a pencil. I'm just going to throw these in and build them up layer upon layer upon layer. And it just starts, you can see from where I started that it has already built up. Sean! Hey, buddy! Good to see you. How are you? Now, my favorite white, when I want it to be really white, I always steal it. Look, I steal it from the paper. Thanks. Let me show you the whole thing. This is very close up. This is it. There he is. It's an Akita. It's next on my list for my akckennel dogs. Oh, you're so sweet. Well, hi to you. I hope everything's good. Going good for you. Thank you. Zoom back in. Just building up these layers. This is a very time-consuming technique that I decided to try today. Are you looking to buy what? To buy a puppy? Are you looking to get a puppy? No. Are you? Alright, so I got the real white, and I'm just going to start throwing it in up here. And even in the colors, there's white in there. And it helps lighten up some of the other colors. Oh, you're getting a house too? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's so exciting. Yay! Puppies are the best. Well, you know that. I'm like in love with my puppies. My puppies are so spoiled. We just got back from Ohio today. And we had a wedding to go to. And my dogs were at my parents' house while we went to this wedding. And my dad's like, your dogs are so spoiled. They just look at me like I'm supposed to know what they're doing. Yeah, well, that's why part of the reason why I do digital paint, Sean, is because I do not have any room like I want. I do not have room. Alright, so I'm building up the shadow to build the form here. And so the computer allows me to have a whole art studio without the mess and without the space that I need, because I do not have space in this house. I still have my grown children here, and until one of them moves out and I have a room where I could set up easels and have like oil paints dry for 6 months. Yeah, see, right? Yep, it's a parent thing. Yeah, until I can give people, you know, that's how I am. Until I have a space where I could do it the way I want to do it, I just said, okay, I'm going to do the digital. And then I don't have to be all messed up, somebody messed up my painting, or got into my paints, or... This is Corel Painter. It's pretty cool. You paint so fluid though. If you guys like abstract, follow Sean there. He has not been scoping a lot lately because he's been busy. Alright, so you can see I'm building in this richness. I know it's so slow. That's why I did this other half today while I was getting ready. So you guys could see where I was going with this half. I didn't want to just start with the eye and have it be like left like this and everybody going, so what? So what? What was that? Because you don't get, it takes a while and they don't get to see like where I'm going with it. So I did take the time to do some of this, and that's not even probably totally, it's probably not all done either. Corel Painter. I have the Corel Painter 2016. Talk some more, Kathy. Alright, so as you put in these darks, it'll start enriching this. And once I said, giving this some little, I'm going to lift up this area of the eye and start pulling this side of the face back by shading it. Alright. But, you know, I understand. I understand how, you know, oh, my program's being a little, I need to zoom in a little closer, guys, just for this part. So this is on a different level, and this is how I can get, like, the little sections of hair. I don't want that one looking like they're going over the eye, because it is, kind of. Alright. The reason I have this time watch is because my oil paints are blending, and so it has to undo it before it can erase it. Oh, dude. You're having a house bill? Love it. Nice, nice, nice. I can't wait for you to have your studio, and then you can scope and show me around. Yeah, they got you. They're like, oh, look it. Don't you love it? You see something like that, and it's like, okay, yes, meant to be. There's an easel in there. So as I throw this light on top of the shadow I threw down before. Oh my goodness. Did you negotiate that in the price? Just leave the easel and everything in there. You should have negotiated it in your deal. I would have. I would have asked. The worst they could have said was no. I've been like, I noticed the one room was set up like this. Could you just leave it that way? Move all the stuff over there. I'd like it to look just like that. Ooh, yeah. Do. Alright, so he has, I want to go a little smaller now because I'm trying to get, as usual when I do these art blocks, guys, I'm going to tell you I'll probably end up going back and maybe redoing some of this. I just hate to tell you, I never seem to do like the way I really wanted to do because I'm trying to talk and read comments and, oh. So if you want to see it finished, make sure you follow me on my social media, any of these, and you will get to see it. I can't believe my hour is almost up. I just looked, I have like 7 minutes. It went fast today. Fast! It went fast. Thanks for sharing. I know, art relaxes me too. I love it. And I usually catch up all my replays and I'll go through and heart everybody up. So just think, because I wasn't there live doesn't mean I'm not going to be there. Look for my name. You'll see it in your replays. And here's our next lineup. So next up is Tangled Cat. And then after her at 9 is I Need Henna. And then we have AC Adventures. We all know is Tammy and G4 Penny. I think G4 Penny was here before. If you're still here, I think she did it once, but I believe these guys are new. She's going to do a Zentangle. Awesome. Woo! Love it. I love all that delicate, like that artwork and how they do those patterns. It's crazy. And I am going to work on this guy and watch everybody else's periscopes. That's what my plan is for the rest of the night. At some point, I'm going to get rid of my cable probably. Oh yeah, you should. And if you don't follow the people and you're looking for it, all you have to do now with the great search on Periscope is search #ArtBlock. So you girls who follow me, you guys who are on later, make sure you use the #ArtBlock so people can find you, and #LDCC, and that we can all recognize you. That's right. Great day today. We had a great lineup. Craze did an awesome job today getting some people lined up and getting us some new faces and things to see. So that was cool. Oh, I didn't even see that, so I'll have to see it later, because that's another trick, girls. Anybody who's new to this thing, watch your own scopes, because I've learned so much, and I still do. I like, why did I say that? But I don't have much of a filter. I am who I am. It's who I am. But I still watch to try to see what did everybody say, and how did I sound, or what did I not say that I should have said. So it's still a process, you know. Just like art is. You're always learning. You're always learning. So this is where I'm at with this guy. You can see it's starting to develop the color. I'm just gonna keep deepening the lines, and the face is gonna take so much longer. The face always takes longer. The body, it's like this is your center of your point of, this is where your eyes want to be drawn to, this face. So once you get this part done, the rest, as it spreads out, does not have to be as detailed as everything else. It's kind of like when you hit the dot on your camera and it focuses on that small part. You want it to be focused here. This is the most important part of any portrait, painting, drawing, whatever. This triangle right there. And then once you get past there, you work out and around, and by the time you get down here, you could just be like painting a whole body like really quick, because you don't have to worry about so many details. Especially if you're not doing a portrait of a specific person's dog where they have special markings that you have to watch out for. Like that other one, Lucy, was somebody's dog, so I wanted to follow her markings. But this is just an Akita, so as long as it looks like an Akita, it doesn't matter if I don't have the exact shade, or if I don't have the exact markings and lines, because it just has to look like an Akita. It doesn't have to look like somebody's Akita. And look at you guys, I didn't even get to show you how to do the ear. I didn't even get to do that. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to leave the ear for Monday, and I will periscope on Monday painting the dog's ear. I'm probably going to be out on the boat and stuff and grocery shopping tomorrow, so I probably won't even do a lot of art tomorrow. So I will save it. Yes, Monday, sometime Monday during the day. Mondays and Fridays I'm home from my nanny job, and so I'll be on here at some time. So look for the replay, or if you catch me live, great. So if you're not following, follow me please. Hit me up, like me, tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. I love it. I appreciate it. I only have a couple minutes yet, so I'm going to give a shout out to my girls that are following me here. And I'll learn their names. I swear I will learn their real names. But the only person's name I know right now is Tammy. But we have Tangled Cat. Look up at Tangled Cat. She's coming up next. I don't know, is she still in here? If she is, put up some emojis so people can follow you, to follow you next. And then we have I Need Henna. She's going to be on at 9. And then at 10 o'clock tonight, we have AC Adventures, Tammy. I know she'll probably be doing an oil abstract painting. Pretty cool. Thank you. And then we will be ending the day with G4 Penny at 11 o'clock. And if you like this stuff and you're interested in art, or maybe want to be part of the art block yourself, look us up on Facebook at Little Deb's Creative Crew. Tell her when it's a closed group, so you have to request to join and say, hey, I saw it on the art block on Saturday, and I'm interested in being a member of the crew. And she'll add you in, and then you can share your art or just appreciate the art that you like and get to know some of us a little better, and we'll get to know you. And if you are an artist, maybe one of these weeks soon, you could be on the art block, and we'll all get to see what you have to share. Because everybody has something special to share, and their own talent and their own creativity. There is no such thing as bad art, because if you enjoy it and you like to create it, it's art. There is no bad art. Even a little stick figure doodle, if it makes you feel good, that's art. So don't let people tell you cannot be an artist. Everybody can. Alright, so it's 8 o'clock. Let's go on to the next girl. Let's go see her. I'm signing up right now. I hope she's going to be on soon. Let's go see the Zen Tangled Cat's going to do. And have a great night, everybody. Thanks for joining me for the art block today. And I hope to see you in the next one so we can all talk about it. Later.